Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of a wireless charger. This is a QI or Qi charging mat, and it sells on Amazon for under 12 bucks. This one is unique because it's made out of a walnut wood as opposed to plastic or aluminum or glass. Those are all more common material choices we've seen, so stylistically it offers something a bit different. Otherwise, it's a single kind of charging puck. It's a round disc, so you can only charge one device at a time, and as long as your phone supports this function, or your tablet supports wireless charging, you're ready to go. It's still a little bit sad to me that in 2016 this isn't the universal standard I hoped it would have been a few years back. Cough cough, HTC and Apple, but otherwise again, this should be a pretty nice to use, again, charging mat. The packaging here alludes and hints at the overall wood texture and material choice being used. The back features some info about the unit in terms of the power input and output, and the weight, which is 38 grams. So inside we have access just to the charging mat. We'll take a closer look at this in a moment. There's also a micro USB cable for providing power to the unit, and there's also a quick start guide / warranty, which is printed in full color. Shows off the various functions, says it's a tiny wireless charger, the MC09, and shows off the various aspects and how to start the charging process. You can always purchase an adapter if your phone doesn't have wireless charging, although you have to have a hard shell or a silicone case in order to ensure the adapter can be folded into the phone to prevent it from falling out when you are traveling. The cable that's provided here has a 1.5 meter long cable length, which is decent enough to be plugged into the wall with the charging puck placed on a desk without you having to worry about it. So that's a decent cable, I'd say, despite not made out of a flat ribbon wire design, so it will tangle a bit more easily. Otherwise, the actual charging mat itself, again, it is made out of this interesting wood texture, so if you're into wood accessories such as stands, if you have a desk that matches this color scheme, or you have wood earphones, this is something that's going to fit right on in. Something I didn't really love about this particular design is the omission of a rubber feet or a ring on the very back. This means that it's quite slick, and on a surface or a desk, it slides around very easily, especially if you're going to put a phone on here or a tablet on here. You kind of expect some motion to be exerted, and as a result it might kind of move around, so it's not as stable as I hoped it would be. Otherwise, there is an LED light which will turn on when the process has started. It's located on the bottom here, and it's going to turn off or turn red once the charging has finished. It is a smart charger in the sense it's not going to overheat or overcharge your phone / tablet. Otherwise, in the back there's just that simple micro USB input. I do wish the cable itself has a design, maybe a color scheme closer to brown, something that matches the color of the charger, but overall I would say a decent design and overall fit and finish going on. As far as performance is concerned, wireless chargers are still not as fast as something like a Qualcomm Quick Charge enabled charger. It uses inductive wireless charging, which takes a bit of extra time. Let's say an Android phone has an average charge time of around 3 hours as opposed to 1.5 or 2 hours if you use a typical wall plug on. Next, we're going to do a quick demo of charging by plugging this into the wall and setting a phone onto the mat. This is what the MC09 looks like when I plug it into the wall. There's a cord that runs through the back, and the front features an LED light which tells me the status of the power. So for instance, right now it's on red, which means that there isn't an inductive coil being detected on the surface. If I set something down, you can see that the light will quickly turn to blue, and there's a small mono speaker on here that will beep to tell you that charging has started. As far as that positioning is concerned, it's fairly good, so I can kind of rotate the phone and just set it in the general area, and the process will start. So it's fairly accurate. It isn't too finicky or too sensitive like some previous charging pucks we've seen in the past, so that's a nice sign. As far as the charging performance is concerned, this one is fairly average. It's fast by QI charging standards, but not the fastest if you compare it with something like Qualcomm's Quick Charge. So that is to say, an Android phone charge up in around 2.5 hours, which is fairly good, about half an hour longer than if you used a wall plug, but still decent. And an iPhone 6 or 6S charged up in roughly 3.5 hours in our testing, so that's still decent as well. It doesn't combine any additional fancy features like a stand or a way to tilt up your screen for watching videos, but it still works and it does a respectable job. Once charging has finished, it's going to automatically stop, and you can see that the light will go back to red to indicate that no more power is being pushed through to the phone using that inductive coil. So overall, it works fairly decently. Thanks for watching this video first look and a quick review here at OS Reviews.